Good afternoon, everyone. It's Mrs. Barrett. And so, today's lesson, I needed to make this video so that you can understand what symbolism is in literature and talk about symbolism in the text, The Fault in Our Stars. All right, so let's get to it. Don't be distracted by my cigarette now. I may have to pause every now and then, but as you see the cigarette in my hand, you guys already know what's happening. You already know that when you put the killing thing in your mouth, but you don't give it the power to kill you. Who said those words? All right, guys. What is symbolism in literature? So symbolism in literature can give a literary work more richness and color and can make the meaning of the work deeper, right? So authors often use symbols to pull your attention, to allow the reader to be able to think deep and to reflect on some messages that they are trying to send. So in literature, symbolism can take many forms, including a figure of speech where an object, person, or situation has another meaning other than its literal meaning. All right. It can also take on the form of the actions of a character. It could be a word, it could be an action or event that have a deeper meaning in the context of the whole story. So now that we understand what symbolism is, just like you can use a cross to represent religion in a text, it is the same way the author may use a symbol as a representation of something else. Let's continue. So we're going to talk about the unlit cigarette in The Fault in Our Stars, right? The only difference between Augustus's cigarette and my cigarette is that my cigarette is lit. It's lit. All right, guys. So Gus's unlit cigarette is a clear symbol even to him who chooses to do it for that reason. So the metaphor that Augustus used was that you put the killing thing between your teeth, but you do not allow it to do the killing. So if we notice, his cigarette is never lit, right? So he's not actually smoking it. It is like for Augustus, he wants to love Hazel even when he knows about her illness, because if she dies, it could hurt him. And it's like the unlit cigarette represents what he wants to be close to, but may hurt him. Let's think about it a little bit further. From the way how Augustus explains the use of this cigarette by the clipping that I had you guys watch, right? He seems to see it more like holding some kind of power or having control over something that could make you sick. So the cigarette could make him sick, but by not lighting it, he has the power and the control over it. We're getting to something here. The cigarettes Augustus often puts in his mouth but doesn't light it represents his attempt to deal with and ideally control the things he fears. Now, that is why it is a metaphor. Because though Augustus doesn't say explicitly what he fears, we can make an inference. You know what an inference is? What is an inference? What is an inference? An inference is when you make an educated guess, right? So we are going to say that Augustus fears cancer the most, and the cigarette is a representation of cancer. Cigarettes are well known for causing cancer. And when Augustus explains the cigarette to Hazel, it seems it's cancer specifically that he is trying to control. However, the cigarettes develop a greater meaning because they represent that he is a little bit insecure, and it suggests that it is a symbol, it is symbolic of the way for him to control all of his fears, with cancer just being like the main one. The author uses several symbols in this text, but I'm going to talk about only two today. And we already talked about the unlit cigarette. But yesterday in chapter 7, we heard Hazel talk about being a grenade. She says, "Mom, I'm a grenade. I'm just waiting to explode," right? And we said that that is also a symbol. It is a metaphor. So remember, a symbol can be a figure of speech. So that statement about the grenade is a metaphor that signifies death, right? It signifies that if she should die, then she's going to cause the people around her to suffer. All right. Hazel uses the term to describe herself after she reads Caroline Mather's online profile and she sees the effect that Caroline's death had on others. She likens herself to a grenade that will one day explode, injuring everyone around her. Now, I want you to pay specific attention to the fact that the author uses these two metaphors in a way to demonstrate symbolism in the text.